Hey everyone, FFJmon here and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm really excited to show you guys the final installment of the Mega Bloks Pokédex that I'm currently building as part of my Mega Bloks Pokédex building series. So I did a part 1 and a part 2 of me building the Pokédex, and here I'm going to show you the part 3 and finally show you the completed construction of the Pokédex. So I'm excited to get into that with you guys and also just, talk about the latest Pokemon news and what's going on. So, yeah, please stay tuned and look forward to building with you guys. So, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and without further ado, let's get started. Alright, let's pick up where we left off. So, we're on page 42, and we are building the door, I believe, for the Pokédex. So, we need 10 of these. But yeah, so kind of going over some Pokemon news here. I know I'm really excited for the Mega Evolution set that is coming out. That's coming out soon, actually, end of September. But I'm excited because this Saturday I actually signed up for a pre-release at my local card shop. So I'll get to do the pre-release event for Mega Evolution, and that'll be a lot of fun. I've only done one before. I did it for Back All the Way in Surging Sparks, and that was a lot of fun. I did go, I was technically, my record was 1 and 2. So basically what you do is you have your pre-release box. I believe it comes with 40 cards that are already kind of ready to go as a deck to compete with. And there's like one card that's like kind of the card that's all the other cards are kind of built around, or it's like your ace kind of for the set, and it has like the name of the set like on the card. So it'll have like Mega Evolution stamped in like the right corner of the art of the Pokemon, and then then you'll have other cards that kind of support it in a deck. But in addition to that, I believe you get 4 booster packs that you get to open as well that you can use to either supplement that 40 card pre-deck that they give you, and you can kind of, swap out a few cards here or there that you would want to change out, or you could kind of like build it from scratch and like use obviously the 40 cards they gave you plus the 4 packs and kind of just like build everything from scratch. So I kind of like how there's different options that you can do. And I did that with Surging Sparks. I don't remember. I think Indeedee was my like ace that I was supposed to like build around, and I don't know. I think since it was my first time, I didn't really know exactly the strategy on how best to build and to compete. And plus, like, I've played the TCG. I was used to kind of the 60 card format and not the 40 card, because you only have 4 prize cards you take instead of the 6. And plus, like, I was just playing against people that kind of knew more on what they were doing than I did. But it was still fun. I ended up going 1 for 2, and the reason why I actually won 1 is because the person that I was supposed to play, I think, forfeited, or I think there was like a slot that because basically you would just like play a different person each time, and then if you won your game against whoever you were playing against, you would basically get like a prize. And I think the prize was getting like a whole nother prize pack, which is cool. But yeah, I basically lost the 2 times I actually played against somebody, but then I won because I was like going up against nobody. So I like technically won because I had like a bye pretty much, and then I was able to get the free pre-release pack, which was really cool. And then yeah, I think I ended up opening that up on the channel, so that was cool. I don't know. I've been kind of doing some research, and I think I'm gonna do better this time, just because like I think I have a better idea of like what to expect, and kind of will figure out how to build my deck in a good manner. And I've kind of been looking at some of the cards that are going to be in the deck and kind of just thinking about how to build it So yeah, I'm excited. I'll keep you guys updated on how that goes. And yeah, maybe I'll make a video on like how best to set up like a pre-release deck. Like maybe I can make like a how-to video. So that will be fun. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Excited about the news of Phantasmal Flame. That seems like a really cool set. Got Mega Gengar and Mega Charizard. Like, you already know that's going to be cool. So you got those guys. I think, like, Mega Lopunny and Mega Heracross are also on the pack art. Obviously, Mega Lopunny I'm not, like, crazy for, but Mega Heracross is pretty cool. I think he was also on the pack art for Furious Fists. And then, yeah, Mega Gengar. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, I think he was on the pack art for Phantom Forces, and then obviously like Mega Charizard X. Yeah, I think he was on Flash Fire because that was like the Charizard set of Mega Evolution. So yeah, it'll be cool. Phantasmal Flames. That'll be a cool set that comes out in like November, and then yeah, Mega Evolution Base I guess comes out end of September. That's some exciting TCG news. And then obviously October we have the new video game, which is looking very cool. Legend ZA. I think that'll be fun. Looks like a fun game. I'm excited for like the whole battle mechanic and stuff. I mean, it kind of is like a mix of Pokemon Unite and Legends Arceus. I feel like it'll be fun. I think Pokemon's got a lot of cool stuff coming up. And I'm trying to think of what else. What else? Let's see, that goes to 3. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else right now. But yeah, excited to be building this with you guys. Building this. And that. Oh yeah, what was I gonna say? Let's see, we got the Legend ZA, we got new Phantasmal Flames. Oh yeah, for Scarlet and Violet, I was actually competing in the, I think there's like a grand challenge where it's just like a tournament where you can play like 15 games a day, and I think it ends tonight actually. I gotta like see if I can finish it. But I wasn't doing super great, but it was still fun, and obviously I'm not like super well versed in competitive Pokemon per se, and I don't know, it's hard because there's just like a lot involved that you have to do. Like you have to EV train, IV train, figure out what Pokemon you're going to use, figure out what movesets you're going to use, kind of figure out the synergy of how well those Pokemon work together. And yeah, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, I feel like it's one thing to like conceptualize and figure out what you want to play with, but then it's a whole other thing to actually like implement it. So like a lot of props to people that have the time to kind of figure that out and do it. I know I don't have like a ton of time, so, and plus like, I don't know, I think I realized that I'm more into Pokemon for like the adventure and the campaign and yeah, you kind of play in that way rather than try to like get good competitively, and I think hopefully, and I think that's kind of been the issue a little bit with some of the fans, and I kind of understand that, is that I feel like Pokemon's been trying to balance like building the competitive part of Pokemon, making it more accessible, but then I feel like that's also been impacting like the games themselves and like how accessible they are to players and how much fun the campaigns are and stuff. And I feel like especially with, and like adding in, you know, the new gimmick of each generation and everything, and I feel like now that it seems like they're going to be separating the parts of the game that are like the competitive VGC part of Pokemon versus the actual like story and the campaign and you just like having a Pokemon adventure, I think that's ultimately going to be good. Because like what's that game? It's Pokemon oh, I forgot what it's called. Champions. Yeah, Pokemon Champions. I feel like that is kind of going to be where all the competitive stuff's going to be. And also, it sounds like they're going to make that more accessible for players, like training your Pokemon and being able to do stuff competitively. Like, I think they'll be cool, because I feel like it'll make it more accessible to players. It'll be easier to, like, train, and it'll more now be focused on just, like, hey, like, do you have the best kind of Pokemon for the best matchups that are kind of going on? So I think ultimately that might be a good thing. But who knows? Maybe it might not be great, but never know until you try. How does that work? Yeah, like that. That goes there. And then yeah, then they can like make a game. If they have a game that's focused on the competitive part of Pokemon, then they can, you know, really focus on just the core game itself and make the game fun and not have to like try to balance both, where you're having, you know, a game like Scarlet and Violet, for example, where, you know, they got to figure out how to incorporate the competitive play, but then also incorporate like the story and everything else going on. And not saying that you still can't, like, I think both of them will feed into each other still, like, you know, whatever's happening in whatever mainline game you're playing. Obviously, they're gonna, like, incorporate whatever gimmick they want into competitive, but, like, you can have a separate game deal with, like, the mechanics and graphics of how the moves are gonna look and what Pokemon are available and, like, stuff like that. Whereas it doesn't have to bleed into the main game, and the main game can just focus on you getting the Pokemon, collecting them, going on your adventure, stuff like that. So I think it's healthy. I think it's a healthy part of the community, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen. And I think Pokemon Champions comes out in 2026, I want to say. ZA comes out October 2025. And yeah, Pokemon 30th anniversary is coming up quick. I feel like it was just a little bit ago that it was the 25th anniversary. That's actually where I got the sweatshirt from. This is the, I think I've told you guys this. Oh, I got a little smudge there. Gotta clean that. But this is the Katy Perry Pokemon Electric. This was the song that she had during the 25th anniversary album. And it has like a Pikachu on the back, and it says Katy Perry. Say what you guys want about Katy Perry. I know, you know, people can have their opinions on her, but I like Katy Perry, and I mean, maybe not necessarily her newer songs as much, but I definitely was a big fan of her and her older songs, and yeah, I mean, I'm the type of person where I don't really listen to the lyrics too much when I listen to music. I more just kind of listen to it for the vibes and how it sounds and stuff, and I feel like more recently I have been... Oh, nice. Okay, so I finished this whole side. That's looking really good. So now I just got to the back. Anyway, yeah, I feel like now I might be focusing more on lyrics a little bit as I've gotten older, but I think generally, and it's just kind of what I've used music for, you know? It's like, when you think about it, it's like, what do you use music for? Well, I kind of would use music for like working out or kind of pumping me up and stuff like that, and I feel like like how music sounds and having it real like energetic and stuff, that kind of was part of what I used music for. And you know, people enjoy and use music for a variety of different things. Okay, I'm having trouble seeing where that goes. Oh, I think those go together like that. I think that's supposed to go down. Okay. Like that. I see. If I can get that. Wow. Oh, it's gotta go in. Okay. Oh, and then I think there's like this piece to kind of secure it. Okay. I was gonna say that doesn't really stay. Yeah, so that should go like that. There you go. Oh, okay. And that like that. Is there another one? Should be two. Oh, right here. There we go. It's supposed to go in. There you go. All those are supposed to snap. Ah, okay. I think I got it. Oh, I was supposed to put two there to pop it up so they're all the same height. Okay. Oh, shoot. Alright, well, that's what I get when I try to do it without reading instructions. Alright, how do I get that? It's gonna be tough. I just stuck that on there tight. I think I can pry it. There we go. Whoa. There we go. Alright, so before I finish this guy, alright, so we're putting two pieces. We're putting one here. And one here. So now that should be even. But yeah, it's an exciting week. I think I'm gonna I have a couple of good ideas for a video that I'm going to try to do this week, and yeah, so be on the lookout for that. I'm finishing up this series about building this, so that's good, but definitely excited to show you what else is on the pipeline. And basically, I guess going back to the pre-release thing that I'm doing, since I'm getting the pre-release box, paying for it obviously, and then, you know, going to be actually playing, I was thinking, you know, I think that pre-release box comes with 4 packs, and you know, I was thinking about maybe opening 3 of them, keeping 1 to open, or I guess not 1 to open, but 1 to have for the collection, and you know, do what I do, where I show the pack, and you know, show the cards you can pull, etc. But you know, I wanna increase my chances of actually like winning, so I feel like I need all the cards from the set at my disposal so that I can play the pre-release event and yeah, essentially go all in and, you know, try to win some. And I don't want to like not open all the packs, and I don't want to like keep one just so I'm like preserving one when I could have opened it and, you know, maybe got some good cards that I could have used to help me, you know, win in the pre-release event. So basically what I'm trying to say is, even though I'm going to have access to the Mega Evolution set early because it's pre-release, I probably won't have a video ready to actually show you me adding it to my collection and showing you the cards you can get until I actually buy, you know, some packs. And, you know, I'd like a sleeve booster because I like collecting the sleeve boosters, and those are like kind of the nice versions of the packs that I'd probably want to have. But, you know, I could also get packs if I ended up winning a couple of the rounds of the pre-release, because, you know, like I said during the last one, I was able to get a free pre-release set because I technically won because there was no one else gonna play. So I basically won by default. So, I mean, I'll take a win where I can get one. Hopefully I can actually win by playing well. So we'll see. But overall, like, I want to increase my chances of winning to get a prize. I know I could technically get a guaranteed prize if I, you know, only use 3 out of the 4 packs, but, you know, what's the fun in that? I want to actually play and see all the cards and utilize what I need to utilize. Oh, cool. Alright, so showing all the Pokemon you can put here. I'm going to put in Pikachu. Boom. That's really cool. Wow, that's awesome. That is awesome. Look at that hinge. Oh, it doesn't like close, but that's alright. Man, that's cool. I wish these were a little bit more even. There you go. Kind of even these out a little bit. But yeah, I'm really excited to do the pre-release. I meant to do it for Journey Together, but I had to like be out of town. So I was able to still get the packs that came with the pre-release set, I think. But I wasn't able to actually like participate in the pre-release. But I'm glad that this time around I can actually like participate in another pre-release like I did with Surging Sparks. And yeah, I think that'll be a lot of fun. Oh, now I'm building a stand, okay. So I'll let you guys know how that goes. And like I said, you know, depending on how well I play, and I mean, I think regardless, the tips that I found online on how to do the pre-release are probably going to be helpful. So I feel like making a video about that would be cool. I'm kind of just telling you my experience and what I learned and what, you know, worked well for me and what didn't. I feel like that'd be a good idea. So I'll definitely try to show that. This is just to the side. think this is like a stand. And yeah, I'm not sure how long this block's gonna be of Mega Evolution, because Legends EA is gonna come out, I imagine, sometime next year. Champions, I think since Champions is coming out, I would think the new Gen 10, I would think it would maybe come out next year. I don't know. But regardless, I feel like if this block maybe only lasts a year, instead of like Scarlet and Violet lasts what, like 2.5 years, maybe 3. But maybe Mega Evolutions will be like half that. So instead of like 16 sets I think we got overall, maybe we get like 8 sets, and we're already getting, I think, basically two before the release. Well, one before and then one like right after the release of the game. So I imagine there might be like a couple more. I don't know. Maybe my guess would be between like 5 and 8. Plus they're gonna do like the 30th anniversary and stuff, and I guess technically that'd probably be part of this block. So I guess maybe my guess would be between like 5 and 8 in this block, I would say. Because, I'm not sure. I mean, obviously, I think they'd probably want to do some sets featuring the new Mega Evolutions, like Dragonite and Victory Bell, stuff like that. So yeah, that could probably take up a couple. So, yeah, I feel like between 5 and 8 feels like a good estimate, I would think. Because they definitely wanted to go for a little bit. But I also understand that if, they're getting ready for Gen 10, that they gotta get ready for that. Wait a second. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, just like that. So we'll see. Let's see, 1, long. Well, yeah, I don't know if I told you guys in my last video, but I did go to a card show. That was pretty fun. I may have already told you, but let's just assume I didn't. Yeah, card show was pretty fun. I was looking for some old packs. They had a jungle pack, but it was in like German. It was like an original jungle pack in German. I think the guy said it was from East Germany. But yeah, since I'm kind of looking to collect the English packs, I did not get it. But it was still cool to see like an old vintage pack. But I was kind of looking around at the booths, and I didn't really see any other like booths that had old packs. Like, yes, they had boxes from like older eras. I think mostly as old as like XY, I would say. They had like boxes that had packs in them from like the XY era. But I did not see any really vintage packs, which is expected. I mean, those are hard to find. But there was a lot of cool stuff at the convention, a lot of cool singles. I bought a couple of singles just for the heck of it. I bought a Meowth single from, it was, I think, Gym Heroes. It's either Gym Heroes or Gym Challenge. It may have been Gym Challenge. One of the gym sets. It was a Meowth. It looked pretty cool. I'd never seen it before, actually. And, it was just like a classic illustration of Meowth that I thought was cool. So I got that. And then I also got a reverse Aggron from Hidden Treasures that I thought was really cool. It was from a guy's like personal collection, and I ended up getting it from him. So I really appreciate his card that he sold to me of the Aggron, because Aggron's one of my favorite Pokemon, I'd say. Generation 4, Rock and Steel type. Pretty cool. that was a fun little card show type deal. What else? What else is there to talk about? Oh yeah, I can tell you guys what Pokemon I was using for the Grand Challenge. I'm going to try to do more. I don't think I'm going to be able to play all 45 games before the end of tonight, but I can tell you what Pokemon I was using. Which different Pokemon I was using. And like I said, I wasn't really doing great. I think out of like 17 games, I won 2. So that's not good, obviously. But it was still fun. I was still having fun. And yeah, basically what I was originally trying to do, and I was kind of looking it up in retrospect, and it didn't seem to be working, and it's probably intentional, but basically what I was trying to do was use a Ditto and a Blissey, and I was trying to use Imposter Ditto, where the ability Imposter essentially allows Ditto to transform into a Pokemon without actually having to use the move Transform. So like right when Ditto enters the battle, he will transform into whatever, I guess not he, I don't think Ditto has a gender, but whatever. Ditto will transform into whatever is directly across from it. So I thought I could then use Blissey, because when Ditto transforms, it basically copies all the stats of whatever Pokemon it's transforming into, except for its HP, which will use its own HP. So when people EV train or, IV train or whatever, when they train their Dittos, they really only have to worry about the HP, because that's the only stat that is gonna be kept. Besides the ones that it's gonna copy. But the Ditto, and typically also people give Ditto a Choice Scarf. So a Choice Scarf allows Ditto to increase its speed, but that means it can only use one move. So like the choice items include like Choice Band, Choice Scarf, Choice Specs. I think Choice Specs increases special attack, Choice Band increases attack, Choice Scarf increases speed. I think that's it. But those are items that make your Pokemon stronger, but it only allows you to use one move, which can be a little risky. So, but that basically guarantees that your Pokemon, and if you train your Ditto pretty well with HP, then it's gonna have high HP. And obviously, if your opponent's probably gonna train their Pokemon pretty well, so it is going to, be trained to whatever your opponent had it besides the HP. But then, since you gave it the Choice Scarf, it's going to be able to maximize its speed, really, against whatever Pokemon it's transforming from. So it's typically always going to be faster than the Pokemon that Ditto transformed from. And then, oh, that's cool, it's a little stand to hold all the different Pokemon. Nice. Very cool. We got that. And then, boom. it's all done. That's really cool. Wow. That's awesome. Now can this close? Oh, it can, I think. Will it? Oh, I don't think so. Oh, there's even a little in the back. Oh, there is a way you can close it, I think. Right? Oh no. Oh no, did I do that wrong? I think I did. Oh shoot. Yeah, that should be face the other way so that I can close it. Dang it. I see what I did. Okay. Well, shoot. Yeah, because I was wondering, it's getting blocked. But I did that wrong. Oh, did I? Oh, I hope I didn't break it. Oh no, I just... Oh shit. Oh shoot. Okay. Gotta take that off. I think I can fix it. Okay. Wait a sec, okay. Yeah, okay. Just like that. Alright, so that goes like that. That goes like that. Oh, how does this go? Oh yeah, that goes like that. There we go. And then... I think this goes... I know that goes here. There we go. That goes there. Okay. Then this now goes in there. Okay, but the problem is these guys. So these guys need to go like that. They need to be turned. That was the problem. I don't know, I thought I had the picture right, but alright. So they gotta go this way. That's better. But yeah, anyway, with the Ditto. Imposter Ditto, transform into what's in front of it. Then I thought I could use a Blissey that had Skill Swap. Now, Blissey has the highest HP out of any Pokemon in the game. So I thought if I had Blissey, have Skill Swap, and Ditto had Imposter, I could use Ditto to use Imposter to transform into a Pokemon, and then also use Blissey to use Skill Swap on Ditto so that it could get Imposter from Ditto, and then it would transform into the other Pokemon that it's across from, and then it would have it'd basically be like a bulkier version of whatever Ditto transform into. So Ditto would be the fast version with its Choice Scarf. Blissey would be the bulky version because it would have leftovers and a high HP. So I thought that would be a great strategy. However, can you see the issue with this plan? People that are probably familiar with competitive already know my mistake. Basically, my mistake was whenever Ditto transforms using Imposter, it loses that ability because it then takes on the ability of whatever Pokemon it just transformed into. So, basically that plan doesn't work. Oh, wait, does it do that? Remove this guy. Okay. Goes that way. I don't think I can put it in this way, but I'll try. I think I need to put it in as it's for both sides. Yeah, anyway, that's the issue, is that since Ditto copies the ability of whatever it's using Imposter on, that strategy won't work. Because Ditto loses Imposter, and then Blissey then can't transform unless it unless it somehow can use Copycat, which allows you to copy the last move used by the Pokemon in play, even if it's your own. But the problem is, instead it was so fast, it would have to use one transform last into, yeah, then Blissey would have to then get the move transform, and on the next turn it would then actually transform, which probably isn't very practical. Okay, so I have that. Back to square one, basically. I'm sorry, I'm like reconstructing this thing because I messed up. Okay. That's what's gonna be on there. That's gonna be on both sides. Those two. And then this one. Oh, okay. That one go here? That one's supposed to have an extra thing on top? I think it is. Yeah. Alright. So now it's supposed to go up like that. Is that right? No. That's not right. I'm just so confused. I think this is right. Is that right? No. There we go. All right. Okay, so now it's supposed to go like this. Supposed to go like that, and then how does that work? Oh yeah, like that, the other way. Other way. Go up. So that thing can go. I can go down. And then this would have to be open. Yeah. Let's do it like that. Alright, there we go. Alright, there's one. There's two. Huh. Wow. I did it. I think that's it. Why do I have 2 extra pieces? Fits like a glove. Nice. That's really cool. That's awesome. Oh, this is so worth it. Huh. Excellent. There you go. I got 2 extra pieces for some reason. And then swap out lenticular. What do? You pop out that. Oh, you pop out those two. And you pop out that. You put it back in. I see. Huh. Cool. Alright guys, that's it. Finished. It's blocking it. Oh, nice. It's all finished. That's all she wrote. Whoa. Very cool. Highly recommend. Thanks for the journey. Alright guys, that's it. That's the Pokédex Mega Block. construction. Very proud of this. So happy I was able to get it working. Woo! And yeah, be on the lookout for future videos. Thanks, have a good one.